So following on from my previous update, I talked about how we had this corrective move that played out, made up of a W, X, Y, X, Z structure. And that Z wave had the potential to tap into this region between 16.94 cents to 17.14 cents. And this region is a 1 to 1.226 retracement of the W wave. And as you can see, we didn't tap into this region. However, we met the minimum requirement, which is a 61.8% retracement of the W wave. And so what I do is remove this since we no longer need it, given the fact that we ended up actually breaching past the Z wave origin at this level. That sits at 17.66 cents, where we ended up seeing that high take place. And so if I remove this also, now I also talked about how I was looking at for this corrective move to play out, made up of a WXY structure, and I set out the X wave to tap into this region between 17.2 cents to 17.38 cents. And as you can see, we ended up tapping into that region and saw that push to the upside to complete the Y wave. So essentially what took place was a WXY structure, and following this move to the upside to complete the Y wave, it looks like we have a corrective move that's playing out right now, where we had a double top scenario that took place also. So what I do is check to see if this Y wave met the typical requirements. And that Y wave would typically reach anywhere between 1 to 1.226. And as you can see, we just about extended beyond the 1.226 level, where we ended up reaching 17.92 cents. And so yeah, it's possible that this WXY structure is now complete. And this Y wave looks to be made up of 5 waves also, where this was the wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what I do is actually check to see if this wave 4 reached past the wave 1 or the wave 2 origin. So at 17.55 cents, and the wave 4 sits at 17.56 cents. So yeah, technically speaking, this 5 wave move is still valid, given the fact that the wave 4 never crossed the wave 1 or the wave 2 origin. And so the next move for ALGO would be the 50 to 18.2% retracement of this wave structure. So if I draw in the fib tool, let me remove this and draw the next target. So anywhere between 17.22 cents to 17.53 cents will be the next key target for ALGO. And so we could even get rejected at the 50 MA and see that lower low take place. And what will be interesting to see is if we see that push to the upside after we tap into this region. And if that's the case, then what we'll have forming is a bigger WXY structure like so. Now, the bearish signal would be for us to extend beyond the 18.2% retracer level at 17.22 cents. And if that's the case, then it's possible that we continue to see that deeper move to the downside, where we then breach past this level at 17.14 cents. And if that's the case, then that will then trigger a breakout structure and a change of character on smart money concept, which will then further confirm that we are on a bearish trend. And if that's the case also, we then have the potential to tap even deeper within this region here, and even this target here that I initially set out in the past. So if I remove this, for that to play out, essentially what we'll be forming is a WXY structure, where this would be the W wave, this would be the X wave, and we set out Y wave play out, where we then tap into that region. So if I bring in the fib tool and set out that Y wave target, so that Y wave has the potential to reach anywhere between 15.92 cents to 16.28 cents. So we could even go slightly deeper than this initial target that I set out previously. And one could actually argue also that we have a bear flag that's in play right now, where if I was to draw in the flag, so this would be the upper trend line and this would be the lower trend line. And then we have the flagpole. So if I bring this to over here, so here you can see that we have the potential to tap into either of these two targets. And if I quickly go on the 4-hour chart, what you can see is we are within the overbought conditions, and so the bears could potentially regain control of the market. And if that's the case, then it's possible for us to go slightly deeper within these targets that I set out. And so yeah, that's just my update on ALGO. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you did, then feel free to hit that like button, and if you're new, feel free to subscribe. Take it easy, people. Peace.